Otherwise, there wasn't anything interesting to be found between our two apartment houses, aside from a couple rusty garage door that wouldn't open no matter how hard you pulled, and maybe half a dozen small cars from Mom and our various neighbors, the odd patch of leaves that no one had thought of to dispose yet, and a few trash cans in various states of disintegration. Unfortunately, house rule was being enforced without any loopholes whatsoever, leaving the inner courtyard without, for example, a single bare lid on the floor. On one particularly boring Sunday afternoon, I tried to search for said bare lid in our courtyard, something that would have gotten me a good handful of colorful metal lids with all kinds of patterns and symbols, quality ranging from shining like a crown jewel to unrecognizably rusted, on any parking lot in Eastern Germany. But here in this orderly little town in West Germany, I didn't even find a cola bottle cap. That's how boring our courtyard was. Well, anyway, the adults had forgotten to remove that obnoxiously floating tennis ball time and time again. In addition to that ball, two very thin fishing lines had been installed to run high up between our two houses, spanning over hidden roads that neither any adult nor we children had discovered yet, leaving them unobtrusive enough that no one had even thought of disposing them. Our whole messaging system was just as brilliant and sustainable as it was simple. You could use the fishing lines to pull the ball to your respective window. Kai and I had come to an agreement to only use this system in case of emergency, because obviously I could just as well go down the stairs and use the doorbell like any other normal person. Much sooner than I would have liked, just that turned into an impossible task. Suddenly, my door flew up, revealing my enraged mother behind it. "Anna, Belinda, Cecily," she called, while angrily staring down at me. The fact that she used not one, not two, but all three of my names, none of which I liked at all, did not make for a good omen at all, and painted me a very dark picture of the future. I am still not even halfway done with cleaning up the kitchen, and there's no end in sight. And I have been working my behind off for half an hour. I'd rather move than keep dealing with this mess you made. I think it's appropriate for you to stay in your room for the rest of the day. It certainly won't hurt you. But what when I need to go to the toilet? I dared to ask, attempting a weak joke, even though Mom was not in the mood for jokes at all. I don't care. I just want some damn calm in here, and I don't want to hear a single sound from you or your room. You will not walk through this door into the rest of the flat or anywhere else in the next couple hours. Do you understand? She didn't even wait for my answer and slammed the door shut with a bang. There, I had my emergency. I wasn't allowed to leave the house and ask Kai for help. All I could do was try to alert him with our tennis ball messaging system. I had no idea how to fix anything about the phone by myself and decided to just put it on my desk in the meantime, which was actually harder than it sounds. Scraps of paper, sheets with writing and drawing attempts, glue sticks, and countless brushes and pencils littered my desk, leaving not a single unoccupied square inch of surface. Luckily, the heap of trash formed a little hollow in the middle that I could safely place my mom's phone into. I opened the window and carefully pulled the tennis ball close. The curtains were drawn back. It wasn't an impossibility that Kai was already up and running. We usually spent the entire afternoon at school. Yes, I had to go to school not just in the morning, but in the afternoon as well, chatting and playing games, but didn't go into the same class. It was unfortunate, but well, As my father always said, you couldn't have everything in life. When I'd already gotten him to buy me strawberry ice cream after the first gas station, I couldn't expect him to buy me a chocolate ice lolly at the second. It was a little dumb for a girl my age to have a boy as my only playmate, but since I couldn't care less about ponies and powder and pretty dresses and other girly stuff, I didn't have much of a choice. And after all, one Kai was better than no Kai at all. I let go of the tennis ball after properly aiming at Kai's window and missed. The ball went far left and hit the bathroom window of one of the neighboring flats. The light behind the frosted glass window told me that there was someone currently using the bathroom. Someone who probably wondered who on earth would knock at their third-story window at 10 on a Saturday morning. The window opened, revealing the sourly face of one of our less pleasant neighbors, who was known for taking his fat little dachshund for walks at exactly 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. each and every day. I ducked beneath the windowsill and very carefully started pulling back the tennis ball. He kept angling his head up and down the wall for a couple more seconds, and then closed the window to return to whatever he had been doing before. I aimed the ball for a second time, but only the second I let go, I saw that Kai, who'd presumably heard the knock on fat dachshund guy's bathroom window, had opened his window as well and was looking straight at me. I wanted to call out to him to dodge, but I was also curious whether I had aimed correctly this time around. Unfortunately, I had, and the ball hit him square on the nose. I could see him fall backwards and momentarily vanish from the window into his room. Then he came back up, carefully dabbing at his nose to check for any broken bones. Only then he realized that it was our messaging signal that had brought him down in a perfect, if unintended, assassination attempt. Maybe he'd actually thought that he'd been hit by a bullet or a nose-diving eagle that had confused him with an early lunch. He gave me a quick nod before vanishing once more. I could see him take his jacket from a shelf through the open window before he left his room. Not long after he stepped out into the courtyard and ran up to the front of the houses, just where the main entrance and the bells were located. I did hear the bell just seconds later, but I already had a premonition of what was going to happen when I heard my mom step to intercom. I pressed my ear against the door and then also heard her yell, "No way, Kai, go play with somebody else. Anna is grounded for the entire day. She turned the kitchen into a seriously messed up shithole and doesn't get to have any visitors. No, I'm not going to make an exception. Go away."